Hi, today I'm going to talk to you about the two words responsible for the most joy and misery in our language, namely love and marriage. This is a poem I've written. Afterwards I'll explain what I mean by each verse. Why is it said we fall in love, not rise in love? After all, the most beautiful, the most powerful word is indeed love. You can love someone and feel really great, but in love lies so much potential for jealousy and hate. What words need to be added to prolong married life? I have the answer. These would prevent so much strife. Celebrants must demand couples never go shopping together. No excuses accepted, regardless of the weather. Life without couples shopping together would be a world of peace. Divorce rates would shrink. They might even cease. To grow as an individual as well as a team is essential for a marriage to succeed, not run out of steam. Do what you want to do, so long as it's together, whether it's climbing a mountain or running through heather. We weren't looking for love when Ashley and I met for the first time. What happened since has developed into a hideous crime. We sensed we could remove our emotional shields and were safe to be vulnerable with each other. Because both of us had been sexually abused and tortured and had our trust shattered, we formed an instant, special bond like no other. Respect and love are a great combination. The most wonderful, precious words in our language, I feel. Someone who disrespects another is an evil abomination. If someone claims to love another person, whether they be their partner or child, when they commit an act of domestic violence, those claims end. I will not be reconciled. So never take your partner for granted should be high up on your list if you want your marriage to last, rather than be one that missed. Let's look at that first verse again. Why is it said that we fall in love, not rise in love? After all, the most beautiful, the most powerful word is indeed love. You can love someone and feel really great, but in love lies so much potential for jealousy and hate. When someone says to me, I fell in love, I'm tempted to answer, yes, I can see mud all over your face. It's as if the person is saying, I was a happy, strong individual. Now I'm at the mercy of love. I don't know what to do. Help. But when someone says, I rose in love, it's a different story. It's a happy story. It's as if the person is saying, thanks to love finding me, I've discovered qualities in myself I didn't even know existed. Yes. When you first realise you love someone, it's a special feeling, isn't it? It's as if you're floating on a heavenly cloud. It can be all-consuming. The problem with that, though, is that it tends to make us absent-minded. So we do things like operating on a patient without using anaesthetic. It also makes us vulnerable. We say yes to everything. Con artists love it when we say I'm in love. However, when we say I hate someone, con artists tend to run away. Yes, in love there is potential for jealousy and hate. You may be the type of person who has a lot of friends. Good on you. You need to be aware, though, that the new love of your life, especially if she's born under the sign of Taurus, wants you all to herself or himself. If you are seen kissing a friend or even saying hello to them or talking about them, well, put it this way, that friend of yours and maybe even you could disappear off the face of the earth. Be warned. Verse 2. What words need to be added to prolong married life? I have the answer. These would prevent so much strife. Celebrants must demand couples never go shopping together. No excuses accepted, regardless of the weather. Life without couples shopping together would be a world of peace. Divorce rates would shrink. They might even cease. Arguments between couples occur every time I shop. We do need this. You don't need that. Help! Stop! Yesterday I overheard this conversation. Now, why are you buying 10 jars of honey? I don't even like honey. Yes, we do. And it's on special. Then the man says, now come on. Why are you buying 4 bottles of seasoned vinegar? Because there are 4 seasons, stupid. That's what she says. Then her husband says, now we could do with this low-fat mayonnaise. Are you calling me fat? No, but... And then she grabs me and she says, my husband says I'm fat. Do you think I'm fat? And I said, certainly not. But what? And I said to her, would you mind breathing in deeply so I can squeeze past you? After all, you are taking up all the space in the aisle. Eventually I did squeeze past her and went to get some honey, only to find someone had taken it all. It's absolutely essential, if absolutely extremely important, that if couples absolutely insist on shopping together, they should have their own supermarkets, not manned by normal people, but by marriage counsellors and divorce lawyers. And singles, well, we can have our own supermarkets in which we can buy what we want in peace. If you are married, I ask, I pray, I beg, I plead for the sake of your marriage and for the sake of my sanity, that you promise to never, ever go shopping together again. Please. Thank you. Another look at verse 3. To grow as an individual as well as a team is essential for a marriage to succeed, not run out of steam. Do what you want to do, so long as it's together, whether it's climbing a mountain or running through heather. In a way, being married to someone is like being part of a sporting team. If you don't make the effort to improve your own strengths and work on your weaknesses, you're not much value to the marriage or sporting team, are you? If you don't put in the effort, the marriage, the sporting team, and you, yes, you, can suffer. Maybe your ambition was to simply be married or be a member of a sporting team. In order to get to that privileged position, and yes, it is a privilege, you put in a lot of hard work. However, once you got to that position, you might have thought, okay, I've done the hard work. I'm just going to sit back and relax and do nothing. If that's your attitude, you might get kicked out of the sporting team or the marriage, and rightly so. One suggestion I have for you is that you and your partner make a list of your own individual strengths and weaknesses Be completely honest. Then, with your partner, make a list of how your marriage is going. You'll be able to see then which areas need work. For example, it could be that one of you used to be very fit and healthy, but now doesn't find time to exercise. That one of you might have spent all the time thinking about you and talking about you, but now it's all about the children. In terms of marriage, it could be that you had a really strong level of communication, but now you hardly even talk to each other. You can make a list at the start of each year and act on those lists. By doing that, I'm confident your marriage and you as an individual will thrive. What's something the two of you haven't done together for a while? What's something you haven't done at all? Both of you make a list, then compare lists. The items which are on both lists should be regarded as absolute priorities to do in this coming year. Why not? Go for it. Together, you can achieve anything. Verse 4. We weren't looking for love when Ashley and I met for the first time. What happened since has developed into a heavenly crime. We sensed we could remove our emotional shields and were safe to be vulnerable with each other. Because both of us had been sexually abused and tortured and had our trust shattered, we formed an instant, special bond like no other. The second time we met, again it was special. Again it was beautiful. I woke up the next day realising I love Ashley. I looked in the mirror though to challenge that belief. I've only met her twice. I'm older than her. Is she just doing a job? What now? I asked. 2 long months passed till I saw her again. I'd never been so scared in all my life. I said, I love you. Ashley said to me, I love you. That was the first time anyone in my whole life, including my parents, had said those words to me. Ashley and I embraced and cried. I gave her our Rainbow Connection. This was 25 pages in which, when I thought of Ashley, words and drawings flowed from my heart and soul through my pen onto paper. They were the most beautiful words I'd ever written and Ashley had ever read. Since then, I've written nearly 600 pages in various books which I've given to my darling Ashley. But as I've told her, no words can describe how beautiful she is or how much I love her. I'll show you one of the image which has appeared in each of those books. I went on to say to Ashley, every day we spend together, I promise to write a poem saying how beautiful you are and how much I love you. Promise? Ashley said. I promise, was my reply. As I left her, we kissed. It was the first time I'd ever kissed anyone on the lips. Ashley said she'd call me. I waited for the call, which did not come. Such extreme pain, agony. I reached the point where I sought help from various counsellors and helplines. Their response, though, was to treat me, Ashley, and a relationship with a disgusting level of contempt and total disrespect, to the point where I felt even worse than I did before. And if it wasn't for a special friend, who's actually the photographer for me today, there's no doubt I would have completed suicide. Thank you, Emily. After 4 months, I went back to see Ashley. She'd been in hospital during that time. That's why she didn't ring. She was still struggling. I could feel her pain. I could see her pain. We were and are able to see the beauty in each other, which we sometimes struggle to see in ourselves. We have the same values of love, trust, honesty, respect, and loyalty. Such is our way of communication that we are able to finish each other's sentences. I said, I was born to love you. Ashley said to me, David, I was born to love you. I told my darling Ashley then and since, I'm prepared to sacrifice my life to protect you. I know, Ashley said. Ashley, who I call my beautiful red rose, and I have kept on meeting. I've told her that every night we'd go to sleep beside each other when we're married, and every morning when we wake up. I promise I'd consider myself the luckiest, happiest, most blessed man in the universe. Of course, Ashley and I have spoken about getting engaged and married, hopefully on Valentine's Day next year. But there are issues. Her ex-partner, who abused her, now wants custody of the children. That legal battle is continuing. Also, Ashley's bosses won't allow her and I to be married, and don't even like us to see each other, and have threatened us, physically threatened us, if we don't comply. If you think no one can be so cruel as to deny anyone else love, happiness and marriage, think again. With every day that goes by, it's increasingly likely that my darling Ashley, my beautiful red rose, and I will be denied our match made in heaven. And as a result, it's near certain Ashley will end up in another relationship in which she'll suffer abuse. And it is certain that I will die of a broken heart, soul, and yes, body. But verse 5 revisited. Respect and love are a great combination. The most wonderful, precious words in our language, I feel. Someone who disrespects another is an evil abomination. If someone claims to love another person, whether they be their partner or child, when they commit any act of domestic violence, those claims end. I will not be reconciled. In marriage, including when it comes to making love, it is vital that the two of you respect and accept each other's boundaries and beliefs. Regardless of how much you want your partner to do something, or how certain you are that your opinions are right and theirs are wrong. When your partner says no, or I disagree, it is vital that you respect and accept them. If you get into the habit of compromising your boundaries, your beliefs, for the sake of the relationship, what you are really doing is showing a lack of self-respect and self-love and giving far too much power to your partner. This relationship could be regarded as not only unhealthy, but potentially dangerous. Every day I hear of reports of people who I call the scum of the earth, who use domestic violence, but then claim they really do love their partner or children. How dare they? There is no excuse for domestic violence. Love and domestic violence cannot coexist. Respect and domestic violence cannot coexist. In Australia, there has been a shameful culture which has been prevalent for far too long, in which many sportsmen at a top level, especially in rugby league and in cricket, treat women with no respect at all and regard them as mere objects to impose their drunken sexual cravings onto. What makes it even worse is that those in charge of running the teams and former players support those mongrels who hurt and have women and have no respect for women. And they even say they are really nice guys. They're really nice. And they are generally successful in allowing those mongrels to play for teams, for the support of their team. What about the respect for women? Some of those former heroes, they call national heroes, treated women with absolute disrespect and abuse. How dare they? It's time, in fact it's long overdue, for that element of shameful Australian culture to be replaced by one in which each woman, in which each person is treated with respect, dignity, and love. What do you think? Before I talk about the final verse, there are a couple more aspects of love and marriage I'd like to talk about. The first is that love does defy logic. There is no magic formula. Just because two people have same interests, similar personalities, same age, same background, doesn't mean they're going to fall in love and get married, or rise in love and get married. Love can develop slowly, but it can also happen immediately. If you wonder whether you're really in love, don't listen to so-called experts, including counsellors, or even your brain. Follow your gut instinct. What's in your heart? That's what's most important. When it comes to love, your brain is stupid. Your heart is smart. Now, it's interesting, isn't it, that when a couple are courting and shortly after the wedding, both of them look so good looking, so attractive. But within a year, their looks tend to deteriorate. I'll give you an example. Now, just pretend you are a really good looking lady. Might take a few moments, but trust me, you're looking at me now, I can see you as a really attractive lady. You're looking at me now thinking, oh, David, you have such beautiful blonde hair. Eyes that sparkle in the moonlight. A nose to die for with nostrils perfectly aligned. Oh yeah, luscious lips which I am just yearning to kiss. And those teeth as white as snow. And your skin looks as smooth as silk. Oh, David, stop that! Please, please, don't torture me any longer. If it doesn't work out with Ashley, please, can I have you all to myself? To which I'll say, yes, but be warned, I won't always look this handsome. and I won't always speak in such angelic tones. One day you'll wake up beside me, and what you'll see and hear is this. Now close your eyes for a few moments. I did say close your eyes. Ah! Of course, we can still love each other. After all, love is more than about superficial appearances. It's what's in our hearts and what's in our souls. That's what's most important, isn't it? Now on to the final verse. To never take your partner for granted should be high up on your list if you want your marriage to last rather than be one that missed. Every week, especially at the newsagent, I hear of people talking about their partners as if they are burdens to them. This one man keeps on saying, "Oh, the missus did that," or "the missus did that." How dare he? He takes for granted. I never see any love for his wife on his face. I never hear any love for his wife in his voice. Maybe his wife should just pack up her bags and leave him to teach him a lesson. What do you think? What are some qualities in your partner that perhaps you just take for granted? How about you remind your partner what you truly love about them? If you don't make that effort and you continue to take the love and marriage for granted, one day you could find your partner is gone. In closing, I have a question for you. How do you describe love? Now, what I'd like you to do, not for me, but for you, is to write your answer down and to talk about your answer with your partner, members of your family, friends, clients, and even so-called strangers. Then ask those people to describe what love means to them. How do they describe love? The more people you exchange ideas with about what love is, the more certain it is that there will be more love in your life and in the lives of those other people. And that would make your world and the world in general a better, more beautiful place. Try it out and let me know. For how to contact me, see the bio below. I'd love to hear from you. And thanks again.